The Jamaica Stock Exchange is finding ways to educate the public about the stock market through various programs. But what do you know about their educational programs? Hi, I'm Shaquille Rochester Shorter and welcome to Finance Matters. Joining us to tell us more about the education programs is Dr. Marlene Street Forrest, Managing Director of the Jamaica Stock Exchange. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow the Ministry of Finance on Facebook, Instagram, X, LinkedIn, TikTok, and now Threads to see all the episodes and highlights. Dr. Street Forrest, thank you for being on our program today.
Thank you for having me.
Can you tell me what has been the overall viewership or feedback from the channel?
Since we launched in 2022, the feedback has been tremendous. And it is because we have added several programs. First, the news that speak to how companies and investors are participating in the market. Then we have the business of sports, and we have also the business of entertainment, coupled with other programs geared towards ensuring that persons understand about literacy and financial matters.
All right, so you have new educational programs. Can you tell me about them?
Okay, there are several new educational programs that we have, and these are aimed at various markets, various persons.
Yes.
First, we have the most recent, not yet launched, but we are in the process of ensuring that it is launched, is one geared towards primary school. And that's a stock market game for primary and primary schools.
Okay.
And that is designed so that you catch the students early.
Yes.
So that the emphasis that we have now to ensure that mature people understand the market, you'll not have that a couple of years down the road.
Yes.
And also, how do you treat with devices? The phones and the tablets. We want to ensure that the students understand that there is a way in which they can benefit intellectually.
Yes.
And have fun. So that game is to be launched. But as you know, we also have the stock market game for students, fifth formers, right through to sixth. And we are in 48 schools right across the island.
That's awesome.
Yes, it is. And again, the stock market game for university students. And obviously, we are in the universities. What we plan to do shortly is even to have an inter-university competition.
Okay.
So you notice we are doing and we are planning, because financial education is very important to us. But then again, we have the year-long program for just the general public. And that is a stock market game as well, which they look forward to.
I said innovative, and you're right on the ball, Dr. Street Forrest. I want to go back to your grassroots program. So you're doing the primary schools, and then you're in the high schools. Can you tell us about the games that you want students to play as part of learning? So tell us about the game itself.
Okay, so it is a simulated game. It mirrors the Jamaica Stock Exchange trading on the stock exchange. So the students are given a portfolio.
Okay.
Let us say $100,000, but before that they are trained to say, how do you pick stocks? How do you determine whether to come in or out of a stock? How do you determine whether you are going to put some in a fixed income or otherwise? And then it is tracked in terms of students, individual students, and as a team. As a school, it is tracked to see how they are doing based on the monies that they get, not naturally simulated.
Yes.
And then, what is the growth or sometimes decline? And they use the performance of the market on a daily basis to determine how they are going to play and, track their performance. The teachers are also trained, because the teachers help to guide the students if they they need, encouragement,
Yes.
or they need advice. And also what is done is that the website that we have, the students will go on because there's information on the companies.
Yes.
So you are really tracking real life scenarios.
Yes.
So they go, they see, okay, the company might have paid a dividend. What's a dividend? A question could be asked.
Yes.
The company might have had a stock split. What's a stock split?
Yes.
And so they learn as they go along, so that at the end of the day, they can now take this information and go and do the trading, because they also get a prize.
I was about to ask about that.
Oh yes, they get a prize at the end, first place, second place, third place. And you encourage them to now open an account with a broker.
Yes.
And also to start their investments. And just a little story on this. They have been called because we air it.
Yes.
And some people called them and said, what's advice you want to give? No, but they are not advisors,
Yes.
investment advisors. So that is what happens pretty much, and that mirrors also for the public game.
Yes.
And also for the tertiary game that we have.
Wow, that's so interesting, Dr. Street Forest. But I remember you stated 48 schools are
Yes.
involved now.
Yes.
How can other schools, if they're interested, apply or be a part of this grand thing that's happening at Jamaica Stock Exchange?
We have a very active marketing department. So what they will do is to call us and say, look, we want to be a part of that. But I'll tell you what Stock Exchange does. We look at the entire universe of schools.
Okay.
And we reach out.
Okay.
So we reach out to the schools, we reach out to the business teachers, we reach out to the principal and say, why not? Because we also have the brokers who can be mentors for both the teachers and the students.
Okay.
So, but they can call the Jamaica Stock Exchange, 967-3271, and say that they want to be a part of the program.
Okay, awesome. And you're not just only looking at the traditional high schools.
Oh no, not at all. High school is high school.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm happy to hear
Yes,
that.
yes, high school is high school. We cater for all. We start at the beginning.
Yes.
In terms of how we train. So everyone has intellect, and just that you must have interest.
So on that note, Dr. Street Forest, before we go, 3 things that we should remember about your education programs.
Our education programs cater for all, mature persons, students, and the young ones. The other thing is that we work with you where you are. And we have several educational programs. We have the market research competition. We have the ABCs of understanding the stock market. And we also have workshop programs where we encourage and invite people to have us in your space.
That's awesome. Thank you, Dr. Street Forest, for coming on our program today.
It was certainly a pleasure.
And thank you for joining us on this episode of Finance Matters. Remember to follow us on social media at MOF Jamaica, and tune in next week as we continue to demystify the economic and fiscal policies and initiatives implemented by the government to empower Jamaicans as we chart a path to Jamaica's economic prosperity.